Why your backyard could be a secret superfood factory. During World War II, Americans were handed a shovel, a packet of seeds, and a challenge: feed a nation while the grocery shelves ran thin. Victory gardens weren't just patriotic, they were revolutionary. Families discovered that even a few square feet of soil could produce dense, nutrient-packed foods that would keep them strong, healthy and resilient. But here's the secret that many historians overlook. These gardens weren't just about volume, they were about powerful, hidden superfoods. In this video, we're peeling back decades of forgotten wisdom to show you how the same principles can maximize your nutrition today, even if you only have a balcony or a small backyard. By the end, you'll see why every inch of soil counts and how to get the most out of minimal space. Why Victory Gardens were more than just vegetables. Most people think Victory Gardens were rows of boring potatoes and cabbage, but in reality, wartime gardeners were experimenting with crops that packed the greatest nutritional punch. Leafy greens, like kale and chard, were staples because they provided iron, calcium and vitamins in a fraction of space. Root vegetables such as beets and carrots offered dense carbohydrates and beta-carotene while storing well for the winter months. Wartime guides even recommended herbs like parsley and thyme, not just for flavour but because they delivered essential micronutrients. You can apply this today by stacking your crops vertically or interplanting nutrient-dense herbs with vegetables. For example, plant parsley along the edges of lettuce beds to maximize vitamins per square foot. How crop pairing boosted nutrition and soil health. Victory gardeners quickly realized that growing food in isolation was inefficient. Pairing crops, like beans next to corn, did more than save space. It improved soil nitrogen levels and kept pests away naturally. Spinach and onions were often planted together for similar benefits. The takeaway for modern gardeners is clear: think beyond rows and into ecosystems. Try companion planting to get dual benefits: herbs and vegetables that support each other while maximizing nutritional yield. For example, basil planted near tomatoes enhances vitamin absorption when consumed together in salads. Why root vegetables were the hidden powerhouses. While leafy greens get a lot of attention, wartime gardeners prized root vegetables for their longevity and concentrated nutrition. Beets, turnips and parsnips store energy in the form of complex carbohydrates and minerals, making them ideal for small spaces. A single square foot can yield more calories and micronutrients than several square feet of lettuce. To apply this, use deep containers or vertical towers that allow roots to grow straight down while preserving space above for faster-growing greens. Regular soil testing ensures nutrients are replenished, so each root packs maximum density. The secret of quick-growing crops for continuous harvest is, well, pretty straightforward but surprisingly effective. Victory gardens were designed to feed families continuously, not just once a season. Quick-growing crops like radishes, arugula and baby spinach offered harvests in as little as 3 to 4 weeks. Planting in succession, harvesting one batch while the next is already growing, ensured steady nutrition all season long. For modern small-space gardeners, this means planning your planting schedule meticulously. Even a small balcony planter can produce a monthly rotation of greens, ensuring your family never misses out on essential vitamins. Why do microgreens deserve a place in every modern Victory garden? Well, one of the best-kept secrets of small-space nutrition is microgreens. These tiny seedlings contain up to 40 times more nutrients than their fully grown counterparts, a fact wartime gardeners may have stumbled upon intuitively. Radish microgreens are especially rich in vitamin C, antioxidants, and minerals. Sunflower microgreens are especially rich in vitamin C, antioxidants, and minerals. Broccoli microgreens are especially rich in vitamin C, antioxidants, and minerals. All you need is a shallow tray, some soil, and a bit of light. And within 10 to 14 days, you have a harvest that could actually outperform larger plants nutritionally. So, how does vertical and container gardening replicate wartime ingenuity? WWII gardeners weren't working with unlimited land, and the same constraints apply today for urban survivalists. Using vertical towers, trellises, and stacked containers mirrors the wartime focus on maximizing yield per square foot. Even windowsills or rooftops can serve as victory garden extensions if you focus on nutrient-dense crops and continuous harvest methods. For example, you might grow cherry tomatoes vertically, plant leafy greens in the base containers, and herbs like cilantro along the edges. That way you get multiple harvests from a single footprint. So, some closing thoughts on bringing Victory Garden superfoods to the modern table. Victory Gardens weren't just a wartime necessity. They were a blueprint for nutrition, sustainability, and ingenuity. By selecting nutrient-dense crops, pairing them strategically, and using space-saving techniques, you can turn even the smallest garden into a powerhouse of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. The legacy of these gardens isn't nostalgia. It's practical, actionable wisdom for anyone interested in historical survival strategies or modern urban gardening. Start small, think vertically, and prioritize nutrient density over sheer volume. Whether you're a history enthusiast, a survivalist, or just someone who wants fresher, more powerful food, applying these hidden superfood principles will transform your approach to gardening. If you found this deep dive into Victory Garden superfoods valuable, subscribe to the channel, share it with fellow history buffs, and join us as we uncover more forgotten skills and survival secrets from the past that are still relevant today.